Hello everybody, I'm Dean Takahashi, lead writer for GamesBeat at VentureBeat. We're here live from GTC 2024 talking with Christine Osick from Amazon Robotics and Rev Leberedian from NVIDIA. Welcome. And Christine, let's start with you. What is your role with Amazon Robotics?
My role with Amazon Robotics is to provide simulation tools and operational tools, digital twins, that help to optimize and develop our robots. Our industrial robots at Amazon are essential in delivering speed, price, and selection to our customers.
Yeah, I've seen some of those robots. They're pretty fascinating there. So why is Amazon Robotics participating in GTC this year?
We've been working closely with NVIDIA and with Rev here and Omniverse team as we're advancing our simulation technology. We work with a variety of simulators, including in-house developed NVIDIA Omniverse, FlexSim, Drake, just to name a few. And OpenUSD and the Omniverse platform have been essential, and so is our relationship with Rev.
Okay. And Christine, how is Amazon using simulation for warehouse automation and optimization? And why is simulation important to Amazon Robotics?
Simulation is important. We have a range of use cases that we cover. We simulate robotic work cells, create emulator digital twins of those for developing and test. We build solution simulations that actually simulate a highly automated site. We use those to design and optimize those new building processes.
And Rev, switch to you. So tell me about NVIDIA's Omniverse news at GTC, and what did you announce here?
The really big news is that we're taking Omniverse, which is a developer platform, into the cloud to make it really easy for developers to integrate into their existing applications or build new applications where their users are at, whether that's in the web or on desktop applications or whatever platform that they use. The other big thing that comes out of this is ISVs, developers that make software for others, can easily integrate our technologies now into their offerings. And there's many announcements around many of these ISVs, including Siemens, Ansys, Dassault Systems, 3D Excite, Rockwell Automation, Cadence, and many others.
And Amazon Robotics here too.
And Amazon Robotics is also a great developer. In this case, they're an end customer that uses the software themselves for their own purposes, but they are probably the most advanced developer building robotics simulation and systems on top of Omniverse.
And then who are some of the customers that will leverage this technology, and what are they using it for?
They're using it primarily for simulating digital twins for industrial applications, particularly the new wave of applications and solutions that are related to artificial intelligence. Because of the new set of technologies that have come about with AI, things that were previously impossible with robotics and robotics intelligence are now becoming possible. In order to create these AIs, we need to have virtual worlds for them to learn in and virtual worlds to test them in before we deploy them into the real world. So we're seeing this in warehouses like Amazon's, in factories, in building cities, or any sort of large, complex physical system.
I guess we're only 14 months into generative AI here, and yet it's already playing this role in digital twins and virtual worlds.
Absolutely. What we've seen with generative AI in this 14 months after the ChatGPT moment is generative AI that's largely in the realm of abstract ideas. These are LLMs that were trained on all of the information on the internet, which is text and maybe some images. The next step is to ground these AIs in the physical world, have them understand 3D space and the physics of the real world, so that they can perceive the world and make changes to it or help us design new things inside this world.
And for Christine, does Amazon Robotics use Omniverse or USD for its digital twin projects, and how are you using them?
We do. We use them anywhere from like a highly automated site that we need to virtualize and optimize, and we also use them in our perception systems. We have AI within the perception systems, trained models that rely on both the real-world data that we collect as well as the generated data, and we use Omniverse and USD to generate our synthetic data.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for talking here, and thanks for watching, and be sure to explore more sessions in our GTC catalog. Hello, I'm Dean Takahashi, lead writer for GamesBeat at VentureBeat, and we're here live from GTC 2024 talking with Chetan Kapoor, who's from Amazon Web Services, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, so as a quick background, I lead a hardware accelerated business at AWS. I'm specifically part of the EC2 organization. And I manage the computing products that feature GPUs from NVIDIA and some of the other accelerators that we have, and fleet. Super excited to be here.
So I know you guys made some news today, but I guess why is it important for Amazon Web Services to be here at GTC?
Yeah, so with AWS being the leading cloud provider, we want to make sure our customers have access to the latest and greatest technology to build any sorts of application that they're considering building, right? Now with generative AI being top of mind, and with NVIDIA products and solution being the first thing that our customers gravitate towards when they're building the foundational models and deploying them across their applications, we want to make sure that we have the latest and greatest NVIDIA technology in our portfolio that is integrated well with the rest of our AWS services, right? So from our side, we have a broad portfolio of not only computing products, but networking, managed services, storage services, and those coupled with NVIDIA products make a really compelling offering with our customers. So it's important for us to be here to help our customers and prospects understand what we're working on and how well we're collaborating with NVIDIA to make it easier for them to build and deploy Gen AI applications.
It's a very fast-changing world right now, so
it certainly
got to
is.
stay up to speed, right?
Yes.
So how has AI impacted AWS recently?
Yeah, so AI, we've been tracking the AI space for well over a decade now at AWS, right? Like I was personally involved with launching some of our super early GPU instances in the cloud. And we were the first to actually offer GPUs ever in the cloud-based environment. So this was about 13 years ago, right? AI has had a notable impact with respect to the type of applications our customers are building. A few years ago, computer vision-based autonomous driving was a really, really compelling use case. There are a lot of companies that have made notable or seen notable business impact based on recommendation systems, right? You can imagine, Amazon as a retailer optimizing our recommendations to better serve our customers, right? So AI overall has had a massive impact, not across just AWS, but Amazon overall, right? And specifically in the AWS space, we want to make sure, we have not only the leading and cutting edge of infrastructure, but also a seamless way for customers to exercise this compute capacity, right? So, at AWS, we always kind of think of like our offering in terms of different stacks and different levels of abstraction for different types of customers, where infrastructure is obviously the most fundamental layer, but then how to make it easy for customers to kind of consume the infrastructure, integrate with their applications, and ultimately provide managed services at the top is core of what we do, right?
Okay.
So again, it's a range of applications that we are seeing across the customer base that are supported by the various types of managed services that we have been offering, right?
And so I saw the Amazon logo flash across the stage there. What was that about? You guys had a joint announcement?
Yeah, we had a key announcement that doubled down on our engagement with NVIDIA that we announced at reInvent last year. So early December last year, Jensen was up on stage with Adam Selipsky, our CEO, where we announced a deep partnership involving leveraging their upcoming silicon as well as some of their managed services, right? So we're doubling down on the engagement. So today we're announcing 4 key aspects of that engagement. First off, we're going to be adopting NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture, right? So this is not just the GPU, but also the Grace Hopper solution that is interconnected with NVLink, right? So we announced our plans to build on these capabilities and aim to get these in our hands of customers as quickly as possible. The second segment of engagement was around the evolution of our Project SIBA, as we termed it, where NVIDIA is going to be consuming over 20,000 GPUs of Grace Hopper on AWS for internal development purposes, right? And all these GPUs, the Grace Hopper solution, is going to be built on leveraging the AWS Nitro architecture, which is our hypervisor solution. It's more than a hypervisor. It's basically how we build and deploy EC2 instances, along with EFA as a network interconnect, right? So the announcement was around integrating our Nitro technologies, or EFA, which is a networking capability, along with Grace Hopper 200, NVLink 72, and deploying that at a really, really large scale. Like, these systems are super complex to manage, design, and develop. And we have been collaborating super, super closely with NVIDIA over the past several months to envision what the solution could look like, and obviously start executing, right? And the third was, the fourth one was, that Jensen talked about NVIDIA NIM, right? So where they're actually building package software that is deployable across different frameworks. And we're going to be collaborating with NVIDIA to integrate NIM with our managed services, which is called SageMaker, right? So customers will be able to easily access NVIDIA's containers and software libraries in a managed environment on AWS.
So there were a lot of things Jensen announced during the keynote, and I wonder, like, what was the most exciting thing? What's the highlight from GTC for you?
There were a couple personally. I'm an infrastructure geek, right? So my career has been around computing products. It was really fascinating to see how Jensen unveiled the Blackwell architecture. He is absolutely right to call out that it's not just a piece of silicon, right? It's the entire system around it, which involves computing nodes, networking, rack level deployments, liquid cooling. There's a lot that goes into building and deploying these systems at scale, right? There was one visualization where he talked about, scaling from a chip to a server to a rack to a set of racks, and then a set of racks deployed across several data centers to kind of exhibit or illustrate the scale at which our customers are wanting access to these machines, right? Which is just fascinating, right? So not a lot of people get to kind of see the visuals of what it takes to actually build and deploy a system like that. So that was super cool. And personally, the Disney robots at the end, those were really charming, right? To actually see technology in work in that particular fashion was really fascinating.
Yeah, one of them was being a little stubborn too there.
Yeah, it certainly was. It certainly was, yes.
Thank you, Chetan Kapoor from Amazon Web Services. And thanks for watching, and be sure to explore more sessions in the GTC catalog.
Describe what you would like your app to do.
Fruit tree recipes. Fashion assistant.
18th century translator.
Biker. Cocktail party.
Burritos and TV? Hark! Shall we partake of stuffed wraps and indulge in marathon viewing of the flickering box? Oh, that's perfect.
Hi, my name's Dean Takahashi. I'm the lead writer for GamesBeat at VentureBeat, and we're here live from GTC 2024, and I'm talking with Danny Shapiro, who's the Vice President of Automotive at NVIDIA. Welcome, Danny.
Thanks, it's so great to be here with you, Dean.
And what's your automotive news here at GTC?
Well, one of the key announcements in the big presentation from Jensen earlier today was that BYD, the world's largest EV maker, is going to be using our NVIDIA Drive Thor for the AI brain of their next generation EV fleets.
Okay. And so tell us more about this sort of end-to-end partnership you guys have together.
Yeah, so it goes from the car, of course, to the cloud and back to the car. But inside the vehicle, Drive Thor is our next generation SoC, system on chip. It's going to be integrating the new Blackwell GPU architecture for transformer and generative AI, and will enable all kinds of new capabilities for AI cockpits and user experiences, as well as driver assistance, automated, and ultimately autonomous features. But BYD is also leveraging NVIDIA in their data centers for training artificial intelligence neural networks, also for simulation, using our Isaac Sim for robotics in their factories, and really extends all the way even to retail, where NVIDIA Omniverse is being used to develop all kinds of immersive experiences to really revolutionize the car buying experience. So it's a true end-to-end solution across all different aspects of the auto industry.
Nice. So we see a number of transportation companies have announced they're building on Drive Thor. Can you talk about this next-gen autonomous vehicle platform and who these companies are that are adopting?
So again, we've had a great roadmap of products. Our Drive Orin is the processor in many vehicles today, from Polestar and Volvo. It's going to be lighting up all the new Mercedes-Benz vehicles next year, Jaguar Land Rover as well. And so Thor is that next generation after. We're going from a current rating of 250 tops, so that's trillions of operations per second with Orin, all the way to 1,000 tops, 4 times that for Drive Thor. So it's going to be able to help centralize a lot of different features and functions inside the vehicle, lower the energy consumption, and really simplify the development of these vehicles while making them more capable.
Nice.
Some of the partners that we're announcing as well, really it's vehicles, like XPeng's vehicles, Li Auto, Zeekr, in addition to BYD, but also companies like Neuro that's going to be using it for their autonomous delivery solutions, as well as WeRide, so Robobus company.
I have to get used to all these names of new car companies, like they haven't been around
it's
before.
really, it's a global business, so you know, some of them are in the US, some of them are Europe, some in Asia.
Right. So you've been at this a long time too, and what are the challenges and opportunities ahead of the AV market and the transportation industry at large?
Yeah. Creating autonomous vehicles is an extremely difficult challenge. A lot of complexity. You have the randomness of human drivers, pedestrians, bicycles, motorcycles, just there's a lot of chaos out there. And so we need to ensure that these vehicles are safe. And so it has taken a little longer than I think the whole industry originally anticipated. You know, predictions were made years ago that we'd have fully autonomous vehicles on the road. We're not there yet, we're making great progress. We're seeing a lot of this advanced technology though come into human-driven vehicles now, and in the form of driver assistance and systems that protect the vehicle and the occupants from random things going on outside, but the driver's still in control. And through software updates, we're making these vehicles more and more capable. So the goal is ultimately they will become fully autonomous, but today we're still kind of in that driver assistance mode.
So something that's fairly new is generative AI, and I wonder how it can help with the automotive industry too.
Yeah, it's a great question, and essentially the way to get to full autonomy is to be able to prove that these cars are safer than you and I would ever be. And so what we need to do is first train the vehicles how to handle every possible scenario, and certainly test and validate them. And so we can use generative AI to create training data sets of different scenarios that you might not see regularly on the road. So generative AI helps train, and then ultimately we want to test and validate these systems. So we can do this in simulation. So generative AI, we can create different scenarios, different test cases, a lot of permutations of cars and people and bikes and motorcycles doing things, and ensure that the systems are extremely robust and safe.
So which companies is NVIDIA working with on Gen AI and LLMs for automotive?
Yeah, so the simulation part is one aspect, and we're working with companies like Wave that is able to use Gen AI, again, to create these different scenarios, but they can have the large language model not just focus like text in, text out, which is Chat GPT, but you can bring video in and text out. And so an example would be the video from a front-facing camera comes into the car, and the generative AI can understand what's going on in the scene and provide information to the occupants of the vehicle in terms of what's happening with respect to maybe people jaywalking, another car running a light, or other situations. And so there's a lot of different ways that these systems can provide better interaction and safety. We're also working with Cerence, doing large language models in the vehicle to be able to have much better interaction and co-pilots. So there's a whole range of different companies that are leveraging the technology. It's super exciting to see.
Nice. So who are other Drive Automotive partners at GTC, and what vehicles are on exhibit here?
So it's great. As you walk around the show floor, there's a lot of excitement. We're featuring in our lobby, we have the new Mercedes-Benz CLA concept. So this is a show vehicle, but it's a precursor to the next generation Mercedes-Benz that will be coming out very soon, featuring NVIDIA Drive inside. So those will be available in showrooms, in about a year or so. Lucid, the Lucid Air is on display, another beautiful EV that's powered by NVIDIA. We have in front of the convention center a semi-truck. So Aurora, their Aurora driver is powered by NVIDIA. So we're looking at autonomous trucking, long-haul trucking. And then inside the show floor, some of our other partners, Volvo and their EX90, the new Polestar 3. These cars are coming out very soon, powered by NVIDIA Drive. Plus some autonomous vehicles that are pretty rare, but soon we'll have more on the road. So Nuro with their autonomous delivery, and WeRide's Robobus.
Can I test drive the semi-truck?
You'd have to ask Aurora. But you're not really going to need to test drive it. You're just going to be a passenger. You can test ride in it.
Passenger it. Great, thank you, Danny. And thank you for watching. Be sure to explore more sessions in the GTC catalog.